So, what can we do to stop and reverse this COOF tyranny, this wave of totalitarianism that's spread like a virus over the last 18 months? How can we throw this back? I think the first thing to do when trying to devise a strategy is to understand your opponent and what their objectives are. Now, in terms of who we're fighting, I think it's Satan. Basically, it's some extremely dark forces who are waging a war against mankind. So, the thing that you have to understand about Satan is that he rules the earth. He's allowed to say what goes on here. Organized religion, for example, is the work of the devil, you know. So this is why you have to go back to the Bible itself and just study it yourself. Anyway, one of the rules that these Satanists have is they work according to consent. So for them to carry out their acts of evil, you need to consent to it. So that makes things quite easy to combat, because all you need to do is just basically say no. The easiest way to stop this is just to say, no, I do not consent. So what sort of things could we say no to? Well, it's probably a little bit late now to stop wearing a mask, but that was a visual sign of consent. So that'd be one thing. If you haven't stopped, stop it. Because it's a visual sign, it's a visual cue to others as well. And there are many people who are just incapable of independent critical thought. And if they see other people wearing a mask, they'll do the same. So the second thing is these passports, these arms beer passports. If and when they come in, obviously the thing to do is just not to comply with them. And what I would do is, in advance, is talk to the restaurants, the pubs, the shops that may be tempted to go along with this, and tell them in no uncertain terms that if they introduce these arms spear passports, if they comply with them, not only will you not come into their shop and be their customer, but you will never buy from them again. And tell them that what they must do is to withdraw their consent and just open up their shops and restaurants and pubs to all, and they must not discriminate. So that's very, very, very important, to just not comply. I think this is working out fairly well at the moment. You know, there's in Italy, in France, people are having picnics outside restaurants rather than going inside them. You know, even I think it will be legitimate even to just peacefully stand outside those restaurants, and peacefully communicate to other people who might be tempted to go into those restaurants that what they're doing is supporting evil, you know, pure evil. Of course, done in a completely peaceful way. What else? Obviously, the other one is just use cash always. This system is based on this kind of new world order, this great reset. It's all based on tracking you and controlling you through IT. So what we don't want is central bank digital currencies. And this is, again, another reason why we must resist these passports, because they're not really passports. What they are is a system of digital ID that will be needed to operate central bank digital currencies. So if we resist on the COVID passports, then it makes it much harder for them to introduce the central bank digital currencies. Impossible, in fact. The economy's collapsing. It's only a matter of time before the whole thing collapses. If they haven't got a critical mass of people, maybe 80%, regularly using their medical digital passport, then they won't be able to roll out the central bank digital currencies, and they've lost. basically. So all we need to do is just stand firm and not give in to them, really, not consent to it. Obviously, the other one is to do with the arms spear. You know, do not consent to to being blackmailed. You know, what type of government blackmails its own citizens into taking an mRNA medicine that's never been used before for some sort of affliction, call it what you want, that kills on average 82-year-olds, and which more than 99% of people survive, and the people that it does kill have got 2 or more significant health comorbidities. So it doesn't stack up, does it, if you actually look honestly at it? So, you know, again, what I would say is just withdraw your consent. Do not consent to it. And that's all we need to do, is just stand firm. The other thing as well is not to be fearful of their threats. So, you know, from time to time you hear this stuff about, oh, they're going to lock people up in, concentration camps. They don't have enough goons. They don't have enough courts. They don't have enough jails. They can't imprison the number of people who are quite rightly not going along. They're not consenting. So, yeah, that's it as far as they're concerned. It all relies on our consent. If we say no, it stops. Simple as that. So I think that's... Oh, and the other thing, I guess, is to pray, is to get close to God. He loves you. He wants a relationship with you. Call on him. Call on him to stop this. And that's probably the most important one, and a good way to end. So I'm up this morning. I'm up on a bird tile. It's a bit of a river, part of a river, a really big one that goes out to the sea. I don't know if you can see the sea right at the very end there. They like the estuary. And we've got a bit of late autumn sunshine there in the background. Okay, so that's all from me. God bless you.